comes a time when the noise of the world must quiet down, and the only voice you truly need to hear is your own. That is the moment you decide to focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of deep, healing self-respect. You were not born to chase approval, to be everything to everyone, or to live according to someone else's map. You were born to shine in your own light, to walk your path, and to win on your terms. This journey is not about competing with others. It is about rising into the fullness of your own power at your own pace and in your own divine timing. You are not here to be forgotten, overlooked, or sacrificed for the comfort of others. You are not a background character in someone else's life. You are the main event, the centerpiece of your own story. And it's time to remember that you are the project, the priority, and the prize. So many of us were taught to place everyone else before ourselves, to pour endlessly from a cup that was already half empty. We were conditioned to think that selflessness meant self-abandonment, that being good meant being silent, and that our worth was determined by how useful we were to others. But now you are waking up. You are remembering. You are reclaiming the truth. Your life belongs to you. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's the most courageous, loving thing you can do. When you make yourself the project, you begin to peel away the layers of conditioning that never belonged to you. You start to unlearn the lies that told you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not lovable enough. And you begin to rebuild from the inside out. You learn to ask yourself, not the world, what you want, what you feel, what you need. You begin to nourish your own soul the way you once nourished others. And the beauty of it is, when you choose to love yourself fully, you don't love others less. You love them from a fuller, more authentic space. You no longer love from a place of desperation or dependency. You love from wholeness. And that kind of love is healing. When you become your own priority, you start treating your time, your energy, and your peace like gold. You protect your boundaries with grace. You rest when your body asks. You say no without guilt. And you choose people, experiences, and environments that align with the love you've started giving to yourself. Your life no longer revolves around pleasing others. It evolves into a reflection of your highest self. And when you finally see yourself as the prize, everything changes. Because you are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are not meant to chase what was never meant for you. You are here to attract, to receive, and to embody your deepest truth. You are not an option. You are not a backup plan. You are not someone's temporary fix. You are the prize, whole, radiant, powerful, and divine. You stop begging for breadcrumbs when you realize you are the banquet. You stop shrinking when you realize you were never meant to fit into anyone else's mold. You were meant to expand, to shine, to take up space, not just in the room, but in your own life. Every day that you commit to yourself, your healing, your peace, your dreams, you step further into alignment with the life you deserve. Every time you choose yourself, something sacred happens inside you. You repair what others broke. You restore what you thought you lost. And you rise not because you need to prove anything, but because it is your nature to rise. You are not waiting to be saved, you are saving yourself. You are not waiting for permission to start. You are giving yourself the green light. You are not hoping someone else will notice your light. You are becoming so bright that you can't be ignored. Not by the world, and not by yourself. There will be moments when it feels lonely. There will be days when old patterns try to pull you back. But keep going. Stay the course. You are worth the time, the effort, the patience. You are worth the healing. You are worth the journey. Because you are the project, not broken, not incomplete, just becoming. And you are the priority, not tomorrow, not when you finally accomplish something, right now, as you are. You deserve your own love, your own attention, your own devotion. And yes, you are the prize, not because of what you have or what you do, but because of who you are, because of your heart, your resilience, your light. There is no one else like you, and that is your power. So take a breath, come home to yourself. Every time you start to forget who you are, remind yourself of this truth. You are the project, the priority, and the prize. And the more you love yourself, the more life begins to love you back. Comparison is a thief. It creeps in quietly, disguising itself as motivation or curiosity, but it doesn't uplift you. It drains you. It whispers lies that make you question your journey, your worth, your timing. It tells you that someone else's success means your delay, that their beauty makes you less, that their accomplishments make yours invisible. And none of that is true. You were never meant to live someone else's story. You were meant to live your own. You came into this world with a purpose that is unique to you. Your gifts, your energy, your voice, no one else has them. So how could you possibly compare yourself to someone walking a different path, wearing different shoes, carrying different lessons? Every soul on this earth is on its own sacred journey. Some bloom early, others bloom late. Some take the scenic route, others seem to shoot straight to the top. But all are learning, growing, healing, evolving in their own divine time. There is no race. There is no finish line. Life is not a competition, it is a calling, and your only job is to answer yours. When you compare yourself to others, you take your eyes off your own path. You get distracted from your own mission. You begin to question your pace, your value, your steps. And the more you look outward, the more you disconnect from the power within. You don't need to be faster, richer, prettier, smarter, or more popular. You need only to be aligned with who you truly are. Because when you are in your own lane, there is peace, there is clarity, there is power. You don't need to chase, you don't need to prove, you simply move one step at a time in the direction of your own truth. And that truth will carry you farther than any competition ever could. Other people's lives are not the measuring stick for your own. You cannot see their full story. You do not know the price they paid for what they have or the battles they are still fighting behind the scenes. What you see on the outside, whether it's a highlight reel on a screen or a polished appearance in person, is never the full picture. You don't know their nights of doubt, their moments of fear, their hidden tears, and they don't know yours. So let it go. Let go of the urge to measure your life against someone else's. Let go of the thoughts that tell you you're behind, you're not enough, you're failing. You are not behind. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Every experience, every setback, every breakthrough, it's all shaping you into who you are becoming. You are on time for your life. When you stay in your own lane, you get to focus on your growth, your healing, your joy. You begin to ask better questions. Not why don't I have what they have, but what do I need to learn right now? Not how can I be like them, but how can I be more of who I truly am? Those are the questions that lead to peace. Those are the questions that lead to purpose. There is no joy in chasing someone else's dream. There is no power in trying to mimic someone else's light. Your glow comes from within. Your radiance is rooted in authenticity, and when you honor who you are instead of who you think you should be, you begin to bloom in ways you never imagined possible. There will always be someone ahead of you, and there will always be someone behind you, but the only person you ever need to outgrow is the version of yourself that doubted your own worth. Let every comparison be a cue to come back to yourself. Every time you feel envy, turn it into inspiration, not because you want what they have, but because it reminds you of what's possible for you too, in your own way and in your own time. Stay in your own lane, water your own garden, run your own race, not for applause, not for recognition, but because your soul came here to do something sacred. And that can only happen when you stop looking around and start looking within. You don't need to be like anyone else. You are enough. You are worthy. You are already becoming who you were meant to be. Stay the course. Trust the process. And remember, what is meant for you will never pass you by. Comparison is a thief, but self-trust is a gift. And every time you choose to honor your own journey, you take your power back. Your life is not built in a day. It is built day by day, through your choices, your thoughts, your routines, and the quiet promises you make to yourself. Greatness is not a sudden event. Healing is not a single breakthrough. Transformation does not arrive in lightning bolts. It is your daily habits, repeated with intention and love, that shape your lifelong victories. You do not have to move mountains in a moment. You only need to move gently, consistently, with awareness. What you do every day becomes who you are. If you speak to yourself with kindness every day, self-love becomes your foundation. If you choose peace over drama, gratitude over complaint, growth over comfort, again and again, those small decisions become the architecture of your new reality. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are if your daily actions don't support them. You can affirm abundance, speak of joy, pray for change, but if your habits are rooted in fear, avoidance, or self-sabotage, the progress will feel slow. That's not because you are failing, it's because your habits are still aligned with the old version of you. To evolve, you must begin acting as the person you want to become, not someday, today. Each morning is a sacred opportunity to begin again, to ask yourself, who do I want to be today? Not in the future, but right now. Your morning routine, your thoughts before bed, the way you nourish your body, the way you speak to your reflection, these are the quiet rituals that shape your destiny. You may not see results right away, but trust that every positive habit you commit to is a seed. And like any garden, these seeds need time. They need nurturing, patience, and belief. You don't pull a plant from the soil to see if it's growing. You trust the process. Your habits are no different. The changes might feel invisible at first, but inside you are building something unshakable. A lifelong victory doesn't just mean achieving success in the eyes of the world. It means becoming the kind of person who shows up with integrity, who chooses love over fear, who doesn't abandon themselves when things get hard. That kind of strength is forged in repetition. It is born when you say yes to yourself again and again, even when no one is watching. Habits are how you teach the universe what you believe about yourself. When you meditate each morning, you declare, I deserve peace. When you move your body, you say, I am worthy of care. When you journal, forgive, rest, hydrate, or pursue a goal without giving up, you tell life, I am ready to receive more. You stop waiting for change to arrive and instead begin living as the version of yourself who already has it. Let go of the need for perfection. You do not need to get it right every single day. What matters is that you return to yourself over and over again. Consistency is not about never missing a day. It's about returning after you do. It's about choosing yourself with love, not punishment. Discipline is not cruel. It's a form of devotion, a way of telling your mind, your body, your spirit, you matter. I will show up for you. And yes, there will be days when motivation disappears, when resistance feels strong, when doubt creeps in. In those moments, remember your why. Remember who you're becoming. Remember that even the smallest action taken with intention is powerful. 5 minutes of effort is better than none. One conscious breath can change the energy of your entire day. A simple act of self-care can reignite the fire within. Victory doesn't mean arriving at a destination. It means waking up with purpose. It means living in alignment. It means walking through life with a heart that is open, a mind that is clear, and a soul that is committed to growth. You may not notice the shift overnight, but one day you will look back and see how far you've come, not because of one grand moment, but because of the quiet daily choices you made. So trust in the power of your habits. Let them carry you, support you, and transform you. Speak gently to yourself as you change. Celebrate every step. Let your days be filled with small victories, and those victories will create a life that feels rich, grounded, and full. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. Every day is a new chance. And with each habit aligned with love, you are rising, healing, and creating the life you were always meant to live. Your energy is sacred. It is the core of who you are, the light you give, the peace you carry, the love you share, the calm you create. And yet, so often we give it away carelessly. We allow others to drain us. We stay in spaces that deplete us. We say yes when our souls are begging us to say no. But you must understand, your energy is not endless. It is divine, and it must be protected with reverence. You are not meant to pour yourself out until you are empty. You are meant to overflow. And that overflow begins with honoring your own boundaries, your own needs, your own quiet voice that knows when something or someone is not aligned with your truth. There is nothing selfish about protecting your energy. It is a form of deep self-respect. It is an act of spiritual responsibility. Because when your energy is clear, grounded, and whole, you become a force of healing for yourself and the world around you. But when your energy is scattered, depleted, and ignored, you lose your center. Start noticing what drains you, not with judgment, but with awareness. Who leaves you feeling heavy after a conversation? What spaces tighten your chest or make you question your worth? What patterns in your day leave you feeling disconnected or lost? These are signs. Your body and spirit are always speaking to you, guiding you back to balance. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have to keep giving to those who only take. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to say this doesn't feel right. You are allowed to choose peace over proving, silence over drama, distance over dysfunction. It is not your job to fix others. It is not your mission to carry their pain, heal their wounds, or sacrifice yourself for their comfort. You can love people deeply and still choose to love yourself first. That doesn't make you cold. That makes you wise. Because when you protect your energy, you also protect your power. Your energy is your frequency. It's what you attract and what you radiate. If you are always in survival mode, always exhausted, always stretching yourself beyond your limits, your energy will reflect that. And life will mirror it back to you in the form of chaos, confusion, and imbalance. But when you choose to center yourself, when you slow down, breathe deeply, and honor your needs, you begin to rise. And everything around you starts to shift. Peace finds you, clarity finds you, healing finds you, because you have made space for it. You don't need to explain your boundaries to anyone. You don't need to apologize for needing rest, silence, solitude, or distance. Protecting your energy isn't something you owe the world an explanation for. It is something you owe yourself for the rest of your life. Be mindful of who you allow into your sacred space. Not everyone deserves access to your heart, your time, or your spirit. Some people come to take, not to give. Some situations exist only to distract you from your higher self. And some thoughts, even your own, are rooted in fear, not love. So speak kindly to yourself. Nourish your soul. Choose people who bring peace, not pressure. Choose conversations that lift you higher. Choose habits that recharge you, not drain you. And when necessary, choose solitude over noise. Quiet is where your truth speaks loudest. There is nothing noble about burnout. There is nothing heroic about being constantly available. Real strength is found in discernment, in the ability to say, I choose me today, and not out of ego, but out of love. Because when you choose yourself, you give others permission to do the same. Protect your mornings, protect your thoughts, protect the sacred space of your heart. You are not just here to survive the day, you are here to feel, to grow, to love, to heal, and to thrive. And that begins by choosing what you allow in and what you lovingly release. Let your energy be something you guard like a treasure, because that's what it is. It is your essence, your soul, your power, and no one is allowed to take that from you unless you hand it over. So hold it close, honor it deeply, and remind yourself every single day, my energy is sacred, and I choose to protect it. Because when your energy is protected, your life begins to bloom. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Not once, not twice, but every single day. In your quiet moments, in your struggles, in the stillness before sleep and the awakening of each morning. Your inner dialogue, the words you whisper to your own heart, holds the power to shape your world. You may not always notice it, but you are speaking to yourself all the time. Thoughts that say, I'm not enough. This is too hard. Nothing ever works out for me. Or thoughts that gently affirm, I can handle this. I'm learning. I'm worthy of good things. Each thought is like a seed. Each word you speak inside becomes the soil in which your reality grows. If your inner voice has been unkind, know this. It wasn't born in you. It was learned, conditioned, picked up from others who were hurting or unconscious. But now you are awake. Now you get to choose again. You get to rewrite the script playing inside your mind. And what a beautiful power that is. Because once you become aware of your inner dialogue, you are no longer a victim of it. You are the creator. You can turn that voice from a critic into a coach, from an enemy into an ally, from a saboteur into a source of strength. You can choose words that heal instead of words that hurt. You can begin to speak to yourself like someone you love. Imagine how differently you'd move through the world if your own mind became your greatest source of encouragement, not your greatest source of fear. You do not need to wait until everything in your life is perfect before you become kind to yourself. You do not need to earn your own approval. You simply need to begin. Start with small phrases. I am doing my best. I forgive myself. I am growing. Say them often. Say them especially when they feel difficult. That's when they are doing the most powerful work, rewriting years of self-doubt, softening old wounds and forming new, loving beliefs. Your mind responds to repetition. The more you practice positive inner dialogue, the more your brain accepts it as truth. The more you interrupt negative patterns with compassionate words, the more those patterns lose their grip. You don't have to believe every loving thought at first, just keep showing up with them. With time, they will become your truth. Because the truth is this: you are not broken, you are becoming. You are not too late, you are right on time. And you are not weak for struggling, you are human. Your power lies not in being perfect, but in how you choose to speak to yourself through the imperfections. Let your mind be a safe place to land, a place of honesty but not cruelty, a place of growth but not pressure. Let your inner voice be the soft voice that says, I know you're tired, but keep going. I see you trying, and I'm proud of you. You're allowed to rest, but don't forget who you are. When you learn to empower yourself from the inside, the world outside begins to shift. You begin to attract experiences that match your inner strength. You begin to walk with a quiet confidence. You stop looking for validation in all the wrong places, because you've found a steady source within. And when life challenges you, and it will, you'll notice something new. Instead of collapsing into fear, you'll hear your inner voice say, you've made it through so much already, you've got this. Instead of spiraling in doubt, you'll remember, I am supported, I am resilient, I am enough. That is the power of your inner dialogue. That is the strength you carry every day. So be intentional, be gentle, be fierce when needed, and above all, be consistent. Because the words you feed your mind become the fuel of your spirit. Don't wait for someone else to empower you. Do it yourself, again and again, until your inner voice becomes your source of peace, power, and purpose. Speak life into yourself. Speak hope. Speak grace. And let every word you whisper inside become the foundation of a life built on love. You are listening to yourself all the time. Make sure the words are worth hearing. There is a moment right before the breakthrough where everything feels like it's falling apart. The road gets heavier, the doubts get louder, the delays stretch longer, and you begin to wonder, is it even worth it? Should I keep going? But I want you to know, right there in that moment of deep uncertainty, your breakthrough is closer than you think. The universe often tests our patience just before it delivers our blessing, not to punish us, but to prepare us. Because what's on the other side of your struggle isn't just a reward, it's a new version of you, stronger, wiser, braver. But to meet that version, you have to stay focused. You have to keep showing up, even when nothing seems to be moving. Progress isn't always loud. Growth isn't always visible. Sometimes the most powerful transformation happens quietly, beneath the surface, in the dark, when no one is watching. Just like seeds germinate underground before they bloom into beauty, your dreams are taking root in places you can't yet see. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to go inward, to get clear, to realign, to trust what you've planted and to nourish it with faith. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You didn't endure what you did for no reason. Something inside of you already knows you're on the edge of something extraordinary. But you must stay focused. Distractions will come, fear will knock, doubt will whisper, old habits will try to pull you back. But you are not who you were before. You have already grown. You have already shed layers that no longer belong. Stay committed to your vision. Stay true to your path. Don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Every time you choose focus over fear, presence over panic, and purpose over procrastination, you realign with your destiny. You call in what you've been asking for. You move closer to the version of your life that is waiting for you to believe in it fully. You don't need all the answers right now. You don't have to have the full map. You just need the next step and the courage to take it. Because breakthrough isn't always a big moment. Sometimes it's a series of small, consistent choices. To stay, to try again, to trust, to believe, to keep going when it would be easier to quit. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to pause and rest. But don't confuse rest with retreat. Don't confuse delay with denial. The universe hasn't forgotten you. Your energy, your effort, your heart, it's all being seen. And nothing you've done has been in vain. Not one tear, not one lesson, not one late night. It's all part of the unfolding. Your breakthrough may not look the way you imagined. It may arrive in a way that surprises you, but it will come. Not because you forced it, but because you stayed faithful. Because you chose to believe even when it was hard. Because you stopped looking at the clock and started trusting divine timing. Stay focused on what matters. Let go of what doesn't. You can't take distractions with you where you're going. You can't carry every doubt and still run toward your dreams. This is the season of intentional living, of sacred choices, of knowing that your focus is your power, and that where you place your attention is where your life expands. Affirm to yourself daily, I am aligned with my breakthrough. I release what distracts me. I trust the timing of my life. I stay grounded in purpose. I move forward in peace. Say it until you feel it. Say it until your cells believe it. Say it until it becomes your natural state of being. Because you are so much closer than you realize. And one day, very soon, you'll look back and say, that's why it all happened the way it did. That's why I had to wait. That's why I had to grow, because what was coming was greater than I ever imagined. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on schedule for your miracle. Stay focused, stay faithful, stay open. Your breakthrough is not a distant dream. It's a promise unfolding, and it's already making its way to you.